It's as close to time travel as we're gonna get. This Week in Music History with Marty Miller.
Hello, that would be me, and this is the podcast that goes through a week in music history in less than 10 minutes. This time it's the week of November 17th to 21st, when a huge part of Led Zeppelin's success, he died back in 1995. He didn't play anything except people.
It's the group and the manager, be the rest.
V the rest, i.e. two fingers. We lost Malcolm Young of AC/DC this week in 2017. 8 years gone already.
The musical anchor of this group. He wrote the band's material.
Been there and done that, burnt the t-shirt. David Crosby was in a bit of trouble this week in 1990. In fact, that whole early 90s, late 80s, a very bad time for David Crosby.
Just great. Only the first time. After that, you're just trying to catch up.
This Week in Music History with Marty Miller.
We'll start, however, in 1963 when John Waitman, who was the headmaster of a Surrey grammar school, banned all pupils from having Beatle haircuts, saying, "This ridiculous style brings out the worst in boys physically. It makes them look like morons." But how do you get a Beatle-style haircut?
So, again, what we're looking for when we say the mod haircut, a lot of it was very natural, very heavy around the ears and around the neck. There was not much going on where, in terms of, like, if you look at the Elvis haircut, it was very sharp and cut around the ears. There was a lot of length in it. It was just tucked away behind the ears. Whereas the Beatles left theirs on the fringe, like really heavy on the eyes, the eyebrows, and on the ears and the neck as well. So it was almost like, again, like a fusion between hairdressing and barbering at that time.
1990, David Crosby was admitted to hospital after breaking a leg, shoulder and ankle after falling off his motorcycle, as you do. But then again, David was in a little bit of trouble back in the early 90s, late 80s.
A friend of mine gave me a shot of heroin. Feels great. Only the first time. After that, you're just trying to catch it, and you never get back there.
1983 this week, REM made their first appearance outside of the United States when they appeared on the Channel 4 television show The Tube.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the deep south, and I'm talking about Atlanta, not Croydon, please welcome the IRS recording act, REM.
Meanwhile, it was this week in 2017 when Malcolm Young died at age 64. Malcolm was co-founder, rhythm guitarist, backing vocalist and songwriter with AC/DC, Angus Young's older brother.
But it was really Malcolm that industry experts say was the musical anchor of this group. He wrote the band's material, including those crazy guitar riffs, and he was really credited with influencing a legion of hard rock groups like Metallica and Guns N' Roses. So a huge influence in terms of the musical culture. Sold more than 200 million albums worldwide. Just incredible success, and Malcolm, of course, a huge part of that.
Way back in 1955 this week, Carl Perkins recorded Blue Suede Shoes at the world-famous and very, very special Sun Studios in Memphis.
Is your trio ready? I can get them ready, would you please? Friends, here he is. Very nice to have Carl on the show. Carl Perkins and the trio stepping out in their blue suede shoes. Blue suede shoes.
Well, it's one for the money, two for the show.
Michael Jackson was in trouble this week in 2002 when safety experts blasted him after he dangled his baby from a third-floor hotel balcony. Michael was in Berlin for an award ceremony and was showing his 9-month-old baby to fans outside the hotel. This is the fans chanting, and then the moment baby is dangled.
Michael is the best! Clap the press! Michael is the best! Family, praise Michael! Meet the family! Praise Michael!
It was this week in 1974 that drummer with The Who, Keith Moon, collapsed during a concert after apparently his drink was spiked with horse tranquilizer. Yeah, he probably spiked his own drink. 19-year-old Scott Halpin, who was in the audience, volunteered to replace him on drums for the remaining 3 numbers. That's dream come true stuff there.
Can anybody play the drums? I mean, somebody good.
1976 this week, Paul Simon hosted NBC's SNL, Saturday Night Live, where he performed live with George Harrison doing Here Comes the Sun and also Homeward Bound. Paul McCartney and John Lennon were both in New York City watching the show on television. Now, this wasn't the time that SNL offered the Beatles $3,000 to reform. That was April of 1976.
Ladies and gentlemen, my friend George Harrison.
Meanwhile, back in 1990 this week, Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones got married to Jerry Hall in Bali.
He is a very good father. And no, he's all right. He never gave me anything that antibiotics wouldn't cure.
And finally, for now, this week in 1995, the legendary manager of Led Zeppelin, Peter Grant, died of a heart attack. He was just 60. Man, in the 70s, he looked like he was in his 60s. Known as being one of the shrewdest and most ruthless managers in rock history, he secured 90% of concert gate money and intimidated record store owners who dealt in bootlegs.
There are a lot of managers, unfortunately, who were on what is known as record company managers. They'll go in and make a deal and, like, it's kind of, you know, too pally with the record company, hence you don't really get best for your act, but you get your commission. As far as I'm concerned, no way, you know. It's the group and the manager, be the rest.
That is the week of November 17th to 21st. My name is Marty Miller. We'll do it all again next time.
Zipping through a week in a matter of minutes. This Week in Music History, the podcast.